Today I've got 12 3D prints for your kitchen that you can print out right now using your own 3D printer, and all of the links are available down in the description below. Now before we get started, some of these may come in contact with your food, so if you're not comfortable using a 3D print that touches your food directly, the simplest and easiest solution to that is just don't print it. And as usual, all of the filament usage and the times that it takes to print each of these models out is listed on the screen as I talk about them. Let's jump right in. Now, first up on the list are these 3D printable baskets. Now, when I first saw these, I thought something to store potatoes, apples, bananas, pretty much anything that will fit inside one of these little bins here. And what's cool about these is they stack on top of each other. You can print out as many as you'd like, stack them up on top of each other, assuming you actually have the space underneath your cabinets to fit a bunch of them under there. I chose to do just 2 for now. If I need to print out more for more storage, there's always the option to do that. Now, the only thing about this one that I'll say is maybe don't stack everything towards the front unless you have something else in the back to keep it weighted down because, well, there's nothing holding the front in place. It's just open under there so you can access the bin underneath. So if you put a bunch of stuff towards the front, it might collapse on you. All right, now it should be noted that like most things in my life, my kitchen is not entirely finished yet. When I did the epoxy countertop pour, somehow I ended up getting epoxy on the walls, so they all kind of need to be repainted. I still need a backsplash, but you get the idea. The other thing that's cool about this is if you have something like an A1 Mini, you can just scale it down and fit it on that build plate. I chose to print this on the H2C so I could have a little bit of a larger area and maybe store a few more potatoes, bananas, apples. But you could also store stuff like bags of bread, pretty much anything you want to get off of your counter and put into a little organized bin. If you wash your dishes by hand, something that's kind of annoying, especially when you're washing coffee mugs or tumblers, even regular old cups. If you stack them upside down on something like a drying mat, there's really no air that can move up underneath, and you just kind of let all of that moisture sit inside of there. And the same goes if you just sit it upright. You're just leaving all of that water inside of the cup. That's where these come in handy. I'm sure if you've seen any other 3D printing videos about kitchen 3D prints, you might have come across something like this. Essentially, you just set it down on your drying mat and stick your cup on top of it, and it's got a bunch of holes for air to move through. That way you don't end up with water spots or any moisture that's built up inside of your glass or your coffee mug after it's done being washed. And if my memory serves me correct, the designer had a couple different variations, one with holes on the bottom, one without holes, and you can also print out, again, as many as you'd like. They stack up on top of each other, so when you're not using them, they can be stored away in a cabinet or even a drawer, assuming you have tall enough drawers. And speaking of washing dishes, you're gonna need somewhere to put your sponge, right? I tend to wring my sponge out when I'm done using it, but that doesn't mean there's no moisture left over in it, and that's where this little tray comes in handy. Number one, it keeps your sponge off of the countertop or off of the backside of your sink, just a little bit higher up so you're not creating water spots on the sink, but it also has a little drainage port here, so any leftover water residue that is on the sponge can easily drain off into the sink. Now with this print, I did iron all of the top surfaces just to make it a little bit smoother and maybe prevent any moisture from collecting up inside of any of the layer lines. Now the process of ironing does add a little bit of extra time to the print. I don't think it's 100% necessary, assuming you actually wring out your sponge and you don't just leave the sopping wet sponge sitting inside of this dish. I don't think you're gonna run into any of those issues. But I chose to iron it. It came out all right, which isn't always the case with ironing, but the P1P knocked this one out of the park. All right, this one might be a little bit more controversial for some of you. Again, if you're not comfortable with 3D prints directly touching your food or the materials that go into making your food, the simplest answer is just don't print it. But these are little measuring cups. Now what's cool about these is not only do they say on top of the print what size it is, but they all stack inside of each other and they're all exact measurements. So we've got a half cup, 1/3 cup, a 1/4 cup, and of course the largest one is the full cup. And like I said, they all stack inside of each other, so it's nice and easy to store away when you're not using them. I would not recommend these for liquids, but if you're mixing something like flour or spices, something like that, and want to get more precise measurements, I see these coming in handy in my kitchen quite a bit. Now again, you're not comfortable, simply don't print it. Along the lines of the measuring cups, we have a teaspoon and tablespoon. So one side is a teaspoon, one side is a tablespoon. I chose to print this face down, which is the orientation that the original designer recommends. But I also chose to do a different face pattern on here. So the bottom surface pattern I chose to do is Hilbert curve. And if you've ever seen that, it's a nice looking design, but it doesn't quite work for this particular print. As you can see up here, we've kind of got some layers that didn't connect to it. I only did one wall. So it's not the perfect, not the best looking print, but it will get the job done. Doesn't take very long at all, and there's only one color change in here, the way that the designer created this thing. So if you need a little teaspoon, tablespoon measuring cup, and you are comfortable with 3D prints touching salt, pepper, spices, stuff like that, go ahead and print this one out for your kitchen. Now, if you're somebody who actually does cooking in the kitchen, like I tend to do, something that is sort of annoying is when you're mixing up pasta or even cooking something like steak and you're using tongs. Where do you go and put those after you've touched the food? Well, most of the time it's on the counter, which then means you have to clean the counter up afterwards. But you can also just print out something like this. So it's got room for, like I said, your tongs to sit onto here and prevent any of the food residue, I guess I'll call it, from getting onto your countertop. It's also got this little spot back here if you want to store a lid for your pots or your pans. It's got a little lip here to kind of prevent that lid from toppling over. And again, you can store your spoons, knives, forks, whatever you're using while you're cooking right on top of this thing, and then rinse it off, clean it up afterwards. Now, does that really make any more sense than just wiping off the counter afterwards? That's for you to decide. For me, it's definitely going to be an improvement into my kitchen because I clean the countertops enough. They're black and well, you can see pretty much everything on them. So if I can clean this like once a week instead of wiping the countertops off every single day, that will work better for me. Now, this is one of the first things that I ever printed out with my first 3D printer a couple years ago, and that's just a simple bagel slicer. Again, if you're not comfortable with your food touching 3D prints, you know what to do. But those of you who don't mind, simply throw your bagel inside of here. It's got a slot that should line up perfectly down the middle of the bagel and kind of help you separate it a little bit better. Now, most of the bagels that I end up buying are kind of pre-sliced for the most part, but there's always that little area in the center there that ends up needing to be cut, broken apart. And I thought this was just a little handy print if you want to make your life a little bit easier when cutting that bagel in half. Now, I tend to use quite a bit of eggs, whether it's for actually cooking and eating the eggs for breakfast or using it as kind of a wash or pre-soak for something that I'm going to deep fry. So having something a little bit more accessible to just pull a couple eggs out whenever I need them instead of going into the container has actually been pretty helpful in my kitchen. And what's cool about this one in particular is you can load up your eggs on the bottom and the top. When you pull one egg out from the bottom, the next ones will roll down, so you always have a fresh egg right up in the front. And these can be stored right in your refrigerator. They don't take up too much space on the side, about as much as a normal egg carton, and you just want to keep the eggs stocked in your kitchen. You can go ahead and print out this guy. Now, along the same lines of keeping your countertop clean, when you're putting something like butter or cream cheese on your bagels, you gotta have somewhere to store your knife. Now, you can always do what I normally do and rest it on the side of the sink. Inevitably, though, I always end up getting cream cheese or whatever I'm using the knife for on the side of the counter, which means I then have to clean it up afterwards. Which I guess isn't a huge deal, but if you can spend 25, 30 minutes to print this guy out, you can just leave this on the back side of your countertop or next to where you store your bagels, and it simply holds your knife in place. So you can keep it off of the countertop, go back to it if you need it. If you're like me, sometimes I'll make a bagel, eat the bagel, realize I want another bagel, then I gotta go wash the knife again. And now what I'm kind of realizing is a lot of these prints are kind of designed to prevent immediate washing of things. Whatever, that's how it is, but I just thought this was a handy little thing to keep in the kitchen next to wherever you butter your bread. Now, speaking of butter, this one might be more simple to just go to the store and buy a glass one, but I found it on MakerWorld and I thought it was pretty neat, so I printed it. It's just a little butter dish. Now, with this one, I definitely wouldn't recommend just putting the butter inside of it. Butter comes with a little wrapper on it, so that is how I would store your butter in something like this. If you're going to use it, just keep that wrapper on the bottom. That way you don't have all sorts of residue from the butter getting this thing all dirty, because I don't imagine that would be the easiest thing in the world to clean. And if you are somebody who usually just buys half sticks of butter or only likes to leave half stick of butter out, the designer also has one for those sizes. Next print is similar to our egg container that gets stored into our fridge, but this one is designed so you don't have to keep a 12-pack of seltzers in there or energy drinks. And again, it works the same way that that egg one did. Basically can load all of them up on the bottom, load them up on the top, and when you pull one from the front here, it'll feed the next one in, so you've always got one right up at the front. Now, this is designed for those 12-ounce slim cans like your Trulies or your Celsius cans. They also have ones for 16-ounce cans, as well as like a normal beer can 12-ounce size. I went with this size because it's the size that I end up needing the most. Now, what I'll say about this one is it prints kind of in this orientation here, so it technically shouldn't need supports, and the 3MF file from the designer doesn't include supports. However, if we take a look at the inside here, it's a little bit rough. So I would say continue to print it in this orientation, but maybe add some supports. And one thing that's really cool, if you have something like an H2D or an H2C with the multiple nozzles, is you can set up PETG or PLA as a support interface material. That way it makes it super easy to remove the supports and you don't really have any residue or leftover filament from the same type of filament, because PLA and PETG don't stick to each other. So if you're printing it out of PETG like I did here, use PLA as a support interface material, and it'll basically just print PETG all the way up until the very top part here where it needs to connect with the other part of the print. It'll switch to PLA for a layer or two and butt it right up against the print so it's super clean when you're done printing. And last up on my list is something for the sink, again, similar to our little sponge holder, except this one goes right over the center if you have a double-sided sink, and it's used to store your silverware. So when you're done cleaning your silverware, it's got some drainage holes on the bottom. You can simply throw them into there, wait for them to dry, and then put them away. It'll definitely help to keep my drying mat a little bit cleaner so I won't have so many utensils sitting over there next to all of my plates and cups and other dishes. And they should dry a little bit quicker without as many water spots. That's where I'm gonna end this one. Hopefully you found one or more of these 3D prints for your kitchen useful. If you did, let me know down in the comments below. If you have other suggestions of things you can 3D print for your kitchen, also let me know that down in the comments section below. And like I said before, if you're not comfortable 3D printing stuff that touches your food, simplest solution to that is you don't have to print it. If you enjoyed this video, go ahead and give it a thumbs up. If you want to see more, be sure you hit the subscribe button down below so you don't miss out on the next video. And as always, if you want to watch another video, I've got it queued up for you right over here. I will see you all in the next video. I hope you take care and have an awesome day. See ya.